So I initially was just gonna watch this, but then I figured I would capitalize on the video and maybe get some views with it. So, yeah, 11 minutes 30 seconds campaign, first gameplay thing. I don't know. I guess you can consider this a reaction. I don't like to say that because those are the channels that are like cliche, I would say. But yeah, maybe you can see my excitement. Maybe I won't do much. I don't know. I don't really do this often, but yeah, let's get it. I'm excited for it. So. Let's see. Shiram, my favorite. No, just kidding, I don't even know. By the way, I hope IGN doesn't butcher this.
The biggest surprise I had coming out of my few hours of playing Halo Infinite's campaign wasn't the delightful exploration nor the incredibly fun gunplay. Instead, it came down to the characters. Halo Infinite sees the legendary Master Chief once again tasked with saving the universe from yet another threat. And after 5 major campaigns, the Chief seems tired. He's a man of few words, but his movements and responses are heavier than I've seen before. This is Chief without Cortana.
I like to hear that.
Distinct change is far from a bad thing, though.
I like that.
If anything, Master Chief's forlorn demeanor that he sets aside to get the job done is a great indication to me that Halo Infinite's story is intended to be a more impactful adventure.
Dude, I'm so excited, man. Alright.
It's been 6 months. Where have you been?
What happened? Where is Cortana?
Chief's stern determination is also wonderfully contrasted to his new AI companion's bubbly enthusiasm and his pilot rescuer's anxiety and weariness. Given developer 343 Industries' failure
Must be great being him,
the faintest hint of a personality or motive in Halo 5 and the game's generally lackluster story, this was a relief.
No. Not then! Not again! We need to run!
I need a weapon.
Weapon?
That's
enough.
That's the line. They changed the
Halo
dialogue.
Infinite's contrasting characters aren't the only things to look forward to, though. Rewarding exploration infused with Halo's DNA and genuinely challenging combat could be a relief in today's open.
So it looks like we have bosses, which I'm worried about because in the past when they did bosses, they've always been terrible. So hopefully they're good now.
Game extravaganza, where many worlds are packed to the brim with chores and only a few offer meaningful adventures beyond their main path. If things continue the way I played in my 4-hour hands-on time, I think Halo Infinite could fall into the latter. That's not to say there aren't some essential elements of Halo Infinite I'm curious to see if 343 can pull off, like Chief's storyline with Cortana.
Hey, we got Dr. Halsey back, let's go. And Cortana, purple one, original one, I don't know.
For now, what I played in my preview session has left me even more eager for Halo Infinite's December 8th launch.
Sick.
216. Can you hear me?
Both old and new.
This is UNS.
Dude, that music,
time and time again,
I
Master
love
Chief
the
has
music they
spoken
brought
up to
back.
fight
It's
a new
so
enemy.
good.
Halo Infinite largely sees that pulled back by instead focusing on familiar fodder
Atriox is in this game, by the way.
Too. They eagerly step up as Chief's main adversaries after handily defeating the UNSC around Zeta Halo, including Master Chief. Their goal for Zeta Halo is unknown, but if it involves a Halo ring, there's nothing good that can come of it.
True.
After the UNSC's loss, Master Chief's main objective becomes freeing the captured Allied forces on Zeta Halo and thwarting whatever the Banished are
Like
planning.
Combat Evolved.
I am Escharum, War Chief of the Banished. This is my...
Back up, bro.
Cortana was presented as a mystery rather than as a primary antagonist in what I played. What happened to her after Halo 5 and whether or not she's been truly destroyed is unknown. This crucial conflict seemingly takes a backseat to the larger fight with the Banished.
I'm assuming she's not dead. It'd be kind of underwhelming if she was.
Without getting into spoilers, I will say the few moments that dug into Chief and Cortana's relationship were an emotional gut punch. Halo Infinite is looking to deliver a meaningful story for legacy Halo fans, and I really needed to fulfill that promise after Halo 5's story missteps.
She's not the driver, but a way to level the playing field.
What do I call her?
Ask her. She named herself.
Hello, Master Chief. I'm Cortana.
This all being said, I'm not optimistic that Halo Infinite is going to be a great starting point for new people to the franchise. as the best moments I saw in the first few hours rely on prior knowledge of the series. I don't like the idea of people being left behind, but I selfishly prefer that this game is made for returning Halo fans rather than tuning the story to accommodate new players. Familiar with the story or not though, Halo Infinite sure is fun to play and explore.
I'm
I think
sure.
I'm with you. I didn't even know what a banished was an hour ago, and even I can see the odds aren't great.
Thanks.
Playing Halo Infinite is a mix of familiar and new. One moment you're navigating encounters and ship corridors, then the next you're driving several Marines around the open fields of Zeta Halo.
One worry I have with the open world is they're gonna Far Cry it, you know, because they're talking about outposts, and I don't want there to be like, go to this outpost, you have to liberate all these outposts before you can move on, you know, like. It'd be fun side things to do in the world, but like I don't want it to be required because that just sounds tedious and not fun. Because Far Cry does that and it gets tedious. So I hope that doesn't happen, but I don't know. I'm so excited regardless, but just a thought.
As 343 has clearly stated, Halo Infinite isn't quite a true open world game despite it featuring massive
it's
sandboxes.
partially open world.
Zeta Halo is broken up into island chunks. Land masses can be connected by bridges, and Chief can eventually call in things like a wasp to fly around anywhere after they're unlocked. So eventually we may get to freely explore unlocked areas, but our range will be limited and more focused at first. Zeta Halo is littered with UNSC camps called Forward Operating Bases that were claimed by the Banished after the UNSC lost the big fight. Clearing a base and reclaiming it replaces the Banished with Marines. Even better, cleared bases convert to
Audio
instant
logs,
fast
let's
travel
go.
points and earn you Valor.
Get those back.
Worry not. Valor isn't some sort of spendable currency. It's instead a point-based tracker of how much ground the UNSC has on Zeta Halo. The more Valor you have, the better backup and gear you can call in. As far as I can tell, earning Valor and reclaiming the Broken Ring is entirely optional. So what else can you do when you're not hunting down the next clue to the Banished plan? People don't just get to give the Master Chief a fetch quest. The only one who really gives Master Chief any sort of command is a new AI codenamed the Weapon. She's meant to destroy Cortana and is in turn supposed to be destroyed when her operation is complete. Though Cortana is seemingly gone, the Weapon remains and is happy to assist Master Chief until she reaches her eventual demise. Much like Cortana, the Weapon will call out enemy attacks, notable objectives, banished facilities that need destroying, and Marines in need of rescuing. I was more likely to come across a random patrol of enemies than an actual objective, but I didn't feel like I had to go too far to find something fun to do. I enjoyed the quiet moments though. Following Zeta Halo's native space groundhogs, or just enjoying the view was a pleasant reprieve from the action. When I was ready to get back to it though, I could also hunt down and eliminate special targets to collect a unique version of their signature weapon that's equipable at FOBs. And of course, there are plenty of
definitely an IGN player.
collectibles. A new scanner tool does make them a bit easier to find, if you have an idea of where to look. The scanner's range is rather limited though, so it's not a free pass to finding secrets. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the Grunt and Marine dialogue.
You have to search
They're
for them.
hilarious. The Grunts are as silly and oddly aggressive as ever.
I wonder
and
if
have a
Josean's
surprising
voicing
number
them
of
again. I
lines.
hope they are. Oh yeah, he is.
While the Marines are far more confident and excited about joining the Chief in battle. Their commentary made exploring all the more enjoyable.
Just in the nick of time, Chief.
Nice.
Just because Zeta Halo is a larger, more open
game looks
sandbox
so good,
doesn't mean
man.
343 suddenly has us doing puzzles or tasks unbecoming of a genetically augmented super soldier like Master Chief. Fighting enemies and destroying their stuff is always at the center of Halo Infinite's gameplay, and whether I was taking on a roaming pack of Banished or infiltrating a fortress for a story mission, the more open nature only served to give me more options for combat.
Okay. I like it.
If you've had a chance to check out either of the multiplayer test flights,
I saw this and I didn't at first think it was a multiplayer map. I'm like, are we going back to New Mombasa in this game? That would be a spoiler, I feel like, but no, it's not. I would like to. I would like if the whole game didn't take place on the ring, but it probably will, which is fine. It's just
Halo Infinite's excellence in weaponry should come as no surprise. The campaign introduced me to other interesting weapons we've yet to see in
I've seen
multiplayer,
that.
like the Disruptor. A small
I've seen
shock
that.
pistol
It was
that doesn't
leaked.
do too much immediate damage, but deals out
Oh,
pain
kind
over
of
time.
sucks.
The equipment we've seen in multiplayer unsurprisingly takes on a more powerful form in the campaign.
Makes sense.
Each of the 5 equipment options, grapple shot, shield core, threat sensor, drop wall, and thruster, can be upgraded with a collectible called Spartan cores. Like most of the open world elements, finding the Spartan cores and upgrading equipment is optional.
Okay.
Master Chief won't start the adventure with all equipment either. You'll find new tools
figures.
to play with at specific story beats. Lacking a piece of equipment doesn't necessarily mean you're blocked off from certain areas from what I saw, but getting to or taking on difficult encounters might be
From what it
more
looks
manageable.
like, you start the game with the grapple hook. Because it said the scene that they said was the opening cutscene where he's floating in space, he has a grapple like discharge. So like, I'm guessing you start with it,
Should you have more equipment?
which is the main thing I want to use. So. Okay.
Most of the big story beats happen in large, foreboding structures that could be viewed as something akin to dungeons. These offer a more classic Halo experience. Grunts, jackals, brutes, and elites made up the bulk of the opponents I faced. Their role,
What about the
weapon,
new
and
ones, though?
armor
I wanna see
variety
what the
didn't
new
feel
ones look
lacking
like.
in combat. I came across one set of brutes that were so geared up they nearly qualified as a mini boss fight. The hunters make a return too,
Okay.
and are fun to fight as always.
Hunters
This being
are-
another ring, the Flood
are
was alluded
hunters.
to, though I never saw them. The Prometheans weren't present either. 343's vision
Huh.
of recapturing the essence of combat evolved in Halo Infinite means there's not really room for them.
You see, I didn't think they would be in this game, but I hope they explain why they're not. You know, like it kind of doesn't make sense, but I don't know. Who knows? But
And honestly, I had plenty of fun without them. I didn't see
yeah, that too. I never said I wanted them. I was just wondering why they're gone. Because I hate fighting them.
drones either, so I'm hoping the new flying enemies equipped with hardlight weapons, the skimmers, will be a
Yeah, the
replacement.
skimmers look like buggers.
The real combat stars, though,
But
are
worse.
the boss fights. The first one with the brute lieutenant named Termonius absolutely kicked my ass at first on heroic difficulty. A moment without movement rewarded Termonius as he entered the encounter guns blazing and took me out twice in a row. I had been handling
Nice.
heroic without any issues up until that point.
I'm proud of you for doing that, considering you work for a game news outlet, also known as IGN. I'm surprised you can do better than easy. So good job on you. Nobody else is as good as you at IGN, I would say.
So I was stunned to see how Termonius' aggression and support from 2 jackals paid off. I quickly got to work on a strategy and happily took on the challenge.
On the right track.
I have thus far only explored a fraction of Halo Infinite. Though the map isn't as large as something you'd find in an Assassin's Creed.
That's
Far
totally
from it,
fine
I'd
though.
say.
I don't need a
What it does hold
open
seems to offer
world.
something more curated with excellent combat at its heart. The story part is what I'm most curious about now. 343 needs
Did they change that? Because like the other had the mom there, but that was like a great. Unless this is continuing, I hope it's continuing because I liked what it was
to
before.
stick the landing in the plot department, especially with regard to
No, they did change it because it's the same dialogue. Weird.
giving us a satisfying resolution to the Chief and Cortana's relationship. If they can finally deliver that well-rounded classic Halo experience, then they'll have successfully
It looks like they
definitively
are.
made Halo their own. For more
Which
on Halo
I'm excited
Infinite, check
about.
out our exclusive reveal of the new Streets multiplayer map, and stay tuned all November long for more IGN First coverage on Master Chief's latest adventure.
Sick. Come on, don't cut off when you hit the game. Ah, you do that every time. Is that it? Yes, it is. Well, dang. As you can probably tell, I'm not, I don't react to things, so sorry for the dull thing, but I'm very excited. You probably couldn't tell, but I am. I like all the games. Most anticipated game for the year, right here. And I already got it pre-ordered and everything, so I'm just waiting for that December 8th release date. It's interesting to see some of the cutbacks because I didn't think the map would be so big but it looked awfully small, but I hope it's like a little bit bigger than it actually looked, but I don't know. Seeing a bit more of a Shirham, that's pretty cool. I hope to see Atriox at some point and Cortana, which I'm sure we will. It's cool to see Halsey in there too. I don't know where Halsey right there. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to see her in the game, which gives me hope we might see Arbiter in this game. I hope, please, because we saw Infinity as well somewhere. I don't know where it is, but she was looking at a hologram of Infinity. You get the point. There's definitely connections, which I'm psyched about. So hopefully we'll get something like that. But I don't know. Well, if you enjoyed it, you know what to do. Though, like, subscribe. You know all that cliche stuff. If you didn't like it, I don't blame you, because this isn't the format I'm used to doing. But yeah, that's about it. Bye.